Overwhelmed by the weight of his actions, the young man stands frozen, staring at the lifeless body before him. The harsh reality sinks in. Today, he has taken a life. The young man's panic deepens as he questions if this is truly the end for him, haunted by the unintended consequences of his actions. He reflects bitterly on how something so tragic could unfold from such a simple desire to water flowers. Just as he contemplates hiding the body, a sudden, chilling presence appears behind him, shattering the fragile silence. The young man is stunned to see the girl alive, struggling to process the impossibility of the situation. She calmly assures him she's fine, despite the chaos, while he nervously apologizes and expresses relief. Yet, her cryptic words hint that she's far from normal, deepening the mystery behind the fallen flower pot and the strange events unfolding. The girl, expressionless and distant, declares she's leaving and asks him not to worry about her. The young man, shocked and desperate, tries to stop her, his curiosity too strong to let her go so abruptly. As she walks away, he points out her injury and insists she needs medical attention, but she brushes him off, telling him he talks too much. The girl firmly insists she's leaving and tells him she's fine, warning that if he keeps worrying about her, something will happen. The young man, confused, wonders what that could mean. Then, with a sudden blush and vulnerability, she admits that if he continues to care for her, she'll fall in love, leaving him stunned and speechless. The girl pulls out a box cutter with a mischievous smile, reminding him that she's not normal. The boy, confused and slightly alarmed, wonders if she's about to stab him, but she assures him it's only if he wants to. Her unsettling grin deepens the mystery surrounding her true nature. With a swift motion, she slices her own neck, blood dripping down as she smirks, saying, "See!" The boy recoils in shock, yelling at her to stop, but she calmly explains she wanted him to understand something important. His panic grows as he realizes the bleeding won't stop on its own. The boy, bewildered, questions why there's no visible cut despite the blood, to which she calmly replies, "Yes way." She embraces him tightly, revealing that she can't die and that even severe injuries would heal quickly. Reflecting on her existence, she admits her lifelong disgust with her body, but now feels a strange gratitude toward it. The girl confesses she's found someone to fall in love with, her expression softening despite the blood on her face. She warns him to prepare himself, then admits with a faint smile that she's heavy, hinting at the emotional weight she carries. The boy looks stunned, caught between awe and confusion. In the quiet, dimly lit space, a tense conversation unfolds, with one voice urging the other to be firmer. The protagonist hesitates but agrees, wiping away tears as they prepare to face whatever comes next. The girl confidently insists she must clean the boy's face because it's her blood that dirted it, showing a rare boldness. The boy, surprised but hesitant, declines her offer, unsure if it's the right thing to do. Their quiet exchange lingers in the empty hallway, charged with unspoken feelings. As she prepares to leave, the girl surprises him by confessing she thought about jumping off since he wouldn't let her wipe his face. When he hesitantly asks if she really wants to, she firmly says yes, causing him to laugh and admit she should have just said so from the start. Their tension breaks with a shared, genuine moment of warmth and relief. The girl boldly leans in close, confessing she wants to fall in love with him, making it hard for him to wipe his face. Despite his awkward protest, she teases him about not being satisfied yet, then playfully grabs his hand, hitting him right on the mark. She smiles softly, confessing she can feel his racing pulse as she holds his wrist. Leaning in close, she teasingly asks if she's exciting him, her words making his heart pound even faster. Then, with a shy but bold request, she asks if he can touch her too, their hands intertwining as the moment deepens. Their eyes meet with a shared intensity, each confessing their excitement as their hearts race in unison. She softly asks if he can feel it too, squeezing his hand gently. The moment deepens as she admits that when they touch like this, it feels like they're becoming one. A strange and profound connection blossoming between them. Blushing deeply, they sit close together in a quiet, intimate moment, their nervousness palpable. She breaks the silence with a soft, playful question, asking what they should do next, their hearts still racing with anticipation. Her voice trembles with both nervousness and determination as she softly asks, "Shall we do it?" The question hangs in the air, making his heart race as he struggles to find the words to respond. Their emotions swirl, charged with anticipation and vulnerability. Suddenly pulling away, he apologizes awkwardly, explaining that his dorm has a curfew and he has to leave immediately. Flustered and stumbling over his words, he quickly makes his exit, leaving her standing there in stunned silence as the door slams shut behind him. Left alone, she reflects quietly on how he left without letting her wipe his face. A small sigh escaping her lips as she tries to reassure herself. Then, a determined smirk spreads across her face, her resolve hardening as she vows not to let him get away. The scene shifts to the imposing Kaibwa High School dormitory, setting the stage for what's next. Exhausted and still weighed down by yesterday's chaos, the protagonist leans over the sink, feeling a mix of regret and fatigue. Just then, a fellow student appears, teasing him about being holed up in the bathroom and asking if he's feeling okay, trying to brush it off. He asks if the visitor needs anything, but the other just wants to show him something on his phone. A news clip featuring their school on TV, prompting a shocked reaction. On the rooftop of Kaibwa Senior High School, chilling words written in blood spell out, "I love you" with a heart, discovered by a female student from the school. The protagonist, overwhelmed and breathless, manages a strained laugh, quietly admitting to himself just how heavy she is. She shyly offers him chocolates she made herself, confessing she put her best effort into them just for him. As he accepts, she reveals she's been thinking about this moment ever since they met. Her thoughts swirl around how to make him happier, how to make the chocolates tastier, and how to deepen his feelings for her. The protagonist waits alone at the temporarily closed school, clearly reluctant to be there. Suddenly, a handkerchief is thrown at him, hitting his face and causing a surprised reaction. A girl appears, apologizing with a smile, breaking the tension of the moment. The girl confidently claims the handkerchief is hers and hands it back with a playful smile. Their close exchange leaves the protagonist blushing and slightly flustered, caught off guard by her boldness. The moment lingers between them as she lets out a soft, knowing laugh. The girl casually tosses the handkerchief back, teasingly thanking him with a heart, then turns to leave with a confident, "See you again." Left behind, the protagonist watches her go, bewildered and blushing, quietly admitting to himself that she was truly beautiful despite his confusion. Startled by her sudden accusation, the protagonist panics and denies cheating, nervously explaining he only thought the other girl was pretty. Despite his flustered protest, she remains calm and teasing, brushing off his worries with a knowing smile. The tension shifts as she softly reflects on the idea of pretty, leaving him both confused and intrigued. The girl boldly declares, "My boobs are bigger than hers, aren't they?" As she grabs the protagonist's arm, catching him completely off guard. His eyes widen in shock, struggling to process her unexpected statement. Internally, he panics as the phrase echoes repeatedly in his mind, overwhelmed by how many times she insists on it. She calmly confirms her point, asking if he likes big breasts, then casually reveals she's grown from a B cup to a D cup over time. As she admits they might still grow, the protagonist is left stunned, barely able to respond. The girl teasingly threatens to cut off a pair of F cup breasts to celebrate if she reaches that size, leaving the protagonist horrified and flustered. She jokes about how displaying them would be social suicide, but then softens, clinging to him and promising to take care of him forever, easing the tension with a tender moment. Just as he's still trying to grasp what's happening, she takes his hand and declares it's time to head out on a date. His surprise is palpable, stumbling over the word as she confidently pulls him along, teasing that he's resisting but ultimately giving in. The moment shifts from awkward to sweet as they walk together, the promise of something new hanging in the air. As they walk together, she teases him about struggling to keep up, warning he might run away again. Her playful yet intense gaze questions if he truly dislikes their closeness. Caught off guard, he nervously tries to deny it, blushing under her teasing smile. A girl suddenly calls out the protagonist's name, startling him as she announces that Kino-kun and Shirasaki-san are together. Expressing mock shock, the protagonist is confused by the mention of Shirasaki, while the girl teasingly points out how intimate it looks for them to be holding hands without even knowing each other's names. Kino nervously introduces himself, and Shirasaki shyly responds, creating an awkward yet endearing moment. The girl boldly accuses Kino of being a pervert who always looks at her breasts, making Shirasaki visibly shocked and flustered. Kino awkwardly tries to respond as Shirasaki hides behind him, her face burning bright red. Later, Kino reflects on how Shirasaki is always alone in class, contradicting his initial impression of her as quiet, while the girl laughs off her teasing and confirms Shirasaki's usual reserved nature. Though he just met her yesterday, the protagonist reflects that she's not exactly quiet. More like assertive, clingy, and gentle. He considers calling her an uchibenke, someone confident indoors but reserved outside, and despite his confusion, he finds her behavior kinda cute. As the conversation shifts, the girl teasingly scolds Kino for ditching Kirigaya, who awkwardly admits to it. The topic turns to Kirigaya's whereabouts, prompting curiosity about whether it's connected to the school's temporary closure. Meanwhile, Shirasaki quietly slides closer, peeking out with concern, while the girl cheerfully explains she's heading to check out the school after seeing it on the news. The conversation takes a sudden turn as the boy's teasing is met with a sharp, serious question from the girl, her expression unreadable. His confident smile falters, replaced by a tense, almost fearful stare as he tries to deflect, but she presses on, demanding clarity about the mysterious that. The atmosphere shifts, leaving the group momentarily unsettled as an unexpected breeze rustles the leaves nearby. A girl cheerfully sings as she approaches a building, excited to finally meet someone. Inside, a trio of men exchange sly remarks, with one openly flirting while another warns him not to be so obvious. The girl, hiding a sharp glare behind her hand, mutters a biting insult under her breath, revealing her true feelings about the encounter. With a sly smile and a casual yawn, the enigmatic figure proposes a playful challenge, their tone both teasing and ominous. The invitation hangs in the air, charged with a subtle threat beneath the surface. Meanwhile, three others exchange knowing glances, their expressions unreadable but tense. The two discover a secluded park hidden atop a mountain, rarely visited by others. Realizing this means they'll have the place all to themselves, a quiet excitement sparks between them. The moment feels intimate, as if the world has shrunk just for the two of them. As they confirm that Yoshida has no objections, the boy reassures her that everything is fine. He smiles warmly, reminding her that today is their date, and it's a moment just for them. The girl, blushing and hesitant, struggles to find the right words, caught in the tender weight of the moment. He gently slides his finger along his uniform, confessing that it takes a lot of courage to open up like this. Explaining that today's date is his chance to share more about himself. He softly asks her not to hate him. The girl, cheeks flushed, looks up with a mix of hope and vulnerability, silently pleading for understanding. The boy, caught off guard by the question, asks what she means by hate you. With a gentle tug on his sleeve, he invites her to listen and find out for herself, leading her to a quiet spot. He offers a seat and reveals he made lunch, suggesting they talk while eating. The girl smiles warmly, her eyes shining with hope, while he wonders quietly if there's more to her unexpected kindness. The girl shyly offers a handmade wiener, asking the boy to say ah as he nervously complies. He admits it's just a wiener, but she beams, happy he tried it. Their quiet exchange carries a sweet, awkward warmth as they walk together, sharing this small moment. The boy cautiously asks if what she wants to talk about is related to her undying body. She confirms, explaining that although she can't die, a wound she had as a child took a whole day to heal, showing just how severe it was. The boy, puzzled, presses for more answers. She begins to reveal a painful memory from 5 years ago, when she was with her entire family. On a day they were going on a picnic, a truck crashed into them, leaving everyone but her shattered beyond repair. Despite this, she insists it was probably just a coincidence. She reveals the lasting impact of her past wound, showing her damaged arm as she insists she wouldn't want to die. Sitting quietly together, she reassures him that it's all behind her now and gently offers him a handmade wiener again, asking him to say, ah. The boy acknowledges how difficult her experience must have been, while she smiles softly, grateful to have him by her side. As she recalls the aftermath of the accident, she describes falling into despair, trapped between life and death. In that dark moment, a mysterious figure, a witch, suddenly appears, altering the course of her fate. The protagonist reluctantly admits that maybe witches do exist, recalling the chilling words of a witch he once met. Meanwhile, the girl challenges his disbelief, hinting at the undeniable reality of witches despite his skepticism. A mysterious smile lingers as the unsettling conversation unfolds. The girl confidently calls out the protagonist by name, her footsteps echoing ominously in the dark space. The protagonist's face twists with pain as she mocks his suffering, tugging at his cheek and warning him about ruining his precious appearance. She senses his torment from the power he wields and asks if he's willing to let it go, while he quietly agrees, lowering his head in resignation. Without hesitation, he agrees to let go of his power, prompting the witch to smile gently. Her calm expression contrasts with the weight of his decision. Then, she points out the empty lunchbox, revealing there's nothing left of the meal. As the tension lingers, she suddenly suggests ending their conversation for the day. Wrapping something up quietly, he protests, desperate for more, but she gently tugs at his collar, insisting they save the rest for next time. Despite his frustration, he stands, preparing to ask one final question before they part. As he nervously suggests taking another look at the mysterious message on the roof, She cuddles close, teasing him gently. The rooftop reveals a bold, "I love you," scrawled across the tiles, but she apologizes, saying she doesn't know anything about it. He wonders who could have left it and for whom, though he tries to dismiss it since it doesn't involve him, while she playfully considers trying something similar next time. She hums a carefree tune, seemingly oblivious to the chaos unfolding around her. As her footsteps echo, a sudden, violent impact splatters dark liquid, followed by a heavy slam and a crushing blow. Amidst the turmoil, a bold heart shape appears, contrasting sharply with the brutal scene. With a chilling smile, she declares her message complete, confident this time it will be noticed. The wall bears a haunting declaration. "My beloved darling, I love you," scrawled in dark, dripping letters. Amidst the eerie scene, she kneels calmly while shadowy figures lie motionless around her. It's been 3 months since they last walked to school together, and the group reflects on how lonely it's been. One admits feeling afraid to go to school, while others try to understand what's really going on beneath the surface. Despite the tension, there's a subtle attempt to keep things light and supportive. The group awkwardly discusses how cute Shirasaki-san is, with one girl nervously admitting she might not be able to control herself around her. When asked if she did anything to Shirasaki-san, she vehemently denies it. Though her flustered reaction suggests otherwise, the tension breaks as the word, "darling," echoes, leaving the trio stunned. With a confident grin, she proudly declares she gave it her all and demands a reward, wrapping her arms tightly around him and calling him darling. The sudden boldness leaves him flustered and struggling to respond. Nearby, others watch with a mix of curiosity and envy, wondering about the connection between them. Curiosity sparks as a girl eagerly approaches, asking if the newcomer is a transfer student and if they know Kinokuen. The atmosphere shifts abruptly when a piercing gaze demands, "And who are you?" leaving the question hanging in the air with unsettling intensity. Caught off guard, the girl stammers as she tries to introduce herself, while a nearby boy can't help but admire her beauty. Meanwhile, another figure watches the scene unfold, their presence casting a shadow over the tense moment. Suddenly, 2 figures are violently thrown to the ground with a heavy thud, leaving everyone stunned. The protagonist watches in disbelief as the scene unfolds before him, struggling to process what just happened. A quiet confirmation from a nearby girl confirms the grim reality. They didn't survive. The protagonist demands an answer, shocked and desperate to understand why the 2 were killed. The girl responds cryptically, admitting uncertainty and refusing to teach even her closest companion how to kill. Meanwhile, another girl watches quietly, her expression shifting as she contemplates the question. The girl hesitantly suggests the killings might be linked to someone speaking to her, leaving the protagonist confused and stunned. As he tries to grasp the sudden shift, his mind goes completely blank, overwhelmed by the unexpected revelation. The girl tries everything to wake him up, from calling out to teasingly threatening a kiss. Despite her efforts, he remains completely unresponsive, leaving her both puzzled and amused. Determined to try a new approach, she recalls a phrase about surprises being a good way to make someone happy. With a mischievous grin, she prepares to catch him completely off guard. The school grounds are calm as students casually walk by, unaware of the brewing mischief. Suddenly, a decisive step echoes sharply, signaling the arrival of someone with a bold plan. Standing confidently with a mischievous smirk, the girl prepares to put her surprise into action, while nearby classmates whisper and giggle, sensing something about to unfold. A girl pauses, puzzled by a sudden noise, and remarks that it's kind of noisy. Nearby, other students whisper among themselves, curious about a mysterious new girl with white hair and a striking presence, while also wondering about a boy who seems to give off an unsettling vibe. With a commanding voice, she calls out to everyone, demanding their attention. Her hand snaps sharply, signaling them to look her way. Then, with a confident flourish, she points upward, making it clear that something important is about to happen right here. A sudden shift in expression reveals a deep seriousness as the girl's eyes narrow with intensity. She declares with weighty conviction, "This is a problem," signaling that the situation has taken a troubling turn. The atmosphere darkens, dripping with tension and foreboding. Laughter echoes wildly as the girl revels in the chaos she's caused, declaring the plan a perfect success. Her intense gaze locks onto the boy slumped against the wall, teasing him with a playful yet eerie question about whether her surprise scared him to death. The boy remains silent, his figure slouched and motionless, while the tension between them thickens. The boy suddenly snaps awake, blinking in confusion as he clutches his neck. Feeling an odd pain, struggling to sit up, he mutters that it must have been just a bad dream, though a lingering unease remains. As he looks around, He questions who might be nearby, still disoriented and vulnerable. A confident figure declares themselves a witch, casually describing themselves as someone merely passing by. Their playful yet mysterious smile deepens as they urge the boy to remember them, leaving an intriguing impression. The girl nervously admits she dreamed her head was chopped off, prompting a calm reassurance that her head is still firmly attached. She wonders if she's still dreaming as she gazes at the mysterious, beautiful person before her. Despite the stranger's strange aura and claim of being a witch, the girl recalls her grandmother's saying that beautiful women always tell the truth, and decides to trust her instincts. The conversation takes an unexpected turn as they awkwardly discuss their differing opinions on natto, with the girl cheerfully admitting she just uses soy sauce while the boy bluntly declares his hatred for it. Suddenly, the girl's expression shifts to shock, sensing something unusual beneath her feet. A piercing scream echoes through the night, shaking the cityscape. The boy stares in stunned disbelief, his voice trembling as he tries to comprehend the terrifying sound. The protagonist is horrified as he surveys a gruesome scene littered with headless bodies. Shouting in disbelief, overcome with nausea, he struggles to steady himself, realizing that everyone's heads have been brutally severed, despite his shock and disgust at the horrific sight. He can't help but wonder who could commit such a monstrous act, and awkwardly admits to vomiting on one of the corpses. The group pieces together that Yoshida and Kiritani are connected, but the true culprit must be Shirasaki. Despite the grim realization, the protagonist clings to hope, believing she might still be alive somewhere. Meanwhile, concern lingers over her unknown whereabouts and safety. The protagonist grimly acknowledges the dire situation, emphasizing that things are not good at all. As the unsettling scene of destruction stretches out before him, he processes the grim reality, despite the chaos. He mockingly notes the cruel irony that without a connected head, one cannot heal or move, making the situation all the more frustrating. Covered in blood, she taunts the protagonist, amazed that he can still move with only his head remaining. Something even she admits she can't do. He responds quietly, a mix of surprise and grim acceptance in his eyes. A chilling recognition dawns as the bloodied girl accuses the protagonist of being the one who touched Kino Darling. The tension spikes, leaving him momentarily stunned and questioning her words. Amid the darkness, a calm figure emerges, dressed in an intricately patterned kimono, her serene expression contrasting sharply with the chaos that surrounds them. The date, January 1st, 2020, looms overhead, marking a moment of quiet before the storm. This stillness hints at a new beginning, yet the weight of what's to come lingers in the air. A mysterious figure greets the protagonist with a calm, "Good morning," prompting a confused, "Who are you?" The stranger claims to be like a mother to the protagonist, revealing a strange connection by saying, "From my blood you were born." As dark liquid drips from their hand, despite the odd situation, the protagonist notices the bleeding and asks if they're okay, while the stranger remarks on the protagonist's ongoing hearing problems. The stranger reflects on the situation with a faint smile, admitting they don't fully understand it but find it strangely beautiful. Suddenly, their expression shifts to shock and desperation as they accuse the protagonist of being the one who rejected them, lamenting that their darling has run away. The protagonist, confused and seated on the floor, questions if they are really the one being rejected. The stranger eagerly confirms the protagonist's accusation, proudly calling the situation amazing and beautiful, convinced their darling will be pleased. The protagonist, shocked and horrified, questions the stranger's sanity. The stranger retorts sharply, refusing to be scolded by someone who is only head. As the eerie scene unfolds around them, the protagonist is overwhelmed by the grim scene, realizing that everyone around is dead. Suddenly, a familiar voice calls out, bringing a moment of relief as they recognize Shirasaki-san. Despite the chaos, a brief exchange of concern and greetings offers a fragile sense of normalcy amid the horror. Suddenly, the stranger lunges forward and hugs the protagonist tightly, calling out cheerfully to their darling. The protagonist, caught off guard and confused, asks what's going on, while the stranger beams, insisting the moment is beautiful and asking if they're surprised or happy. But the protagonist quickly struggles to break free, demanding to be let go, leaving the stranger worried and asking what's wrong. The protagonist firmly rejects the stranger's affectionate claim, insisting they are not darling and expressing clear displeasure. With anger and disbelief, he confronts the stranger, accusing them of murdering his friends and everyone at school, demanding an explanation for such a horrific act. The stranger, taken aback, quietly mutters the protagonist's name, stunned by the confrontation. The stranger breaks down in tears, confessing how hard they tried to make him happy. While the protagonist demands answers about the violent acts and the handkerchief, Despite her sorrow, she calls him darling again, pleading for him not to be so angry. Suddenly, a third voice chimes in, disappointed and teasing the protagonist for making a girl cry, prompting an angry outburst of "I hate you" from him. The protagonist suddenly turns away with a sharp motion, leaving the stranger stunned and speechless, her shocked expression and hesitant. Reveal her surprise at his reaction. Meanwhile, his wide-eyed stare and whispered disbelief. No way, oh shit. Show that something unexpected has just hit him hard. Panic erupts as the girl screams, distraught over her darling's head falling off. She clings desperately to him, struggling to calm down, while the boy sternly reminds her that the real problem is the lost neck, not her reaction. The tension mounts as he questions her feelings, demanding if she even cares for him. Determined to fix the problem herself, the girl insists she's trying to repair the boy's missing neck. But when she reaches out, he pushes her away, causing her to stumble back in frustration. Overwhelmed and unsure, she breaks down, admitting she can't do it after all. A sudden, blinding light fills the hallway, revealing a startling transformation. The girl, still shaken, notices the boy's body has somehow healed, the missing neck now completely restored. Confused and alarmed, she questions how this is possible, while he reacts with a mix of surprise and dread. The boy, now fully healed, exhales heavily, a mix of exhaustion and tension weighing on him as he mutters, "Now you've done it." Nearby, a shadowy figure laughs ominously, calling him master. While another person watches with wide eyes, stunned by the unfolding revelation, the atmosphere thickens with unease as the true nature of this person begins to surface. The boy confronts the girl, furious that she managed to put roughly 50 people back together in just a few days while he was away. She stammers, struggling to explain herself, but he cuts her off, insisting there's no excuse for what she's done. Tension fills the room as the girl's nervous smile fades and the boy's frustration deepens. The girl urgently grabs the boy's arm, insisting he focus on the person in question, revealing that the key lies in the reversed head. The boy's shock is palpable as she explains the link has gone haywire, noting how this kid pushes beyond limits even when it's unnecessary. The tension deepens as the group processes this unsettling revelation. Determined, she opens the window and declares she can't fix him here, insisting she'll take him home to heal him properly. Gently grabbing the boy's head, she prepares to move him. The others watch in surprise as she swiftly throws the unconscious boy through the window without hesitation. Carrying the unconscious boy through the window, she reassures the others that she'll take him home to heal, warning that soon the old days will end. The group is left to ponder the weight of her words, realizing that even if he recovers, his body may never heal the same again. A heavy silence falls as they each reflect on the uncertain future ahead. The boy slowly regains consciousness, his eyes fluttering open in confusion. He suddenly realizes he's tied to a chair and demands to know what's happening. From the shadows, a calm voice warns him not to make a fuss, revealing a strict control over the situation. The girl, standing naked and serious, explains she will remove the boy's head, reverse it, and then put it back in, warning him not to lust after her during the procedure or she will kill him. The boy, shocked and confused, stammers in disbelief, unsure of who she is or what's happening. The chapter ends with a message from the scanlator, explaining that this is the latest available chapter and expressing uncertainty about when the series will continue. They promise to translate new chapters quickly once released and encourage readers to follow the author on Twitter for updates.